So if you saw my last video that I was planning to submit to a show that the theme was kind of, gosh, it's frizzy, raining today, good day for painting. That was kind of a theme of how people have changed through this kind of global trauma of the pandemic from my psychological perspective and personal perspective, just the stories that I've collected through art and picking up from the show that I did, some of the works from the show that I did right as the shutdown happened, and kind of following the work that I did and the transition of the work that I've done throughout the pandemic up till now, because it's kind of followed, I realized, and been heavily influenced by the psychological work that I've done and of course my own experience. So I put all of that together and put the application in. It's a residency with with a show, and I put that application together yesterday. So of course that all takes time to hear back, and whether or not that comes through for me, I feel fairly committed to that work. And a lot of times when I pick a theme for my work, and I think this is true for a lot of us creatively, it is going to help me kind of work through some things too. And I hope, and I think that's why a lot of us creative people have these big feelings, so that we can express into our work our experiences that are just kind of very deep and very large, so that other people can kind of vicariously work through it with us. And that's my hope. So I'm going to continue the project today. If you saw, I finished a piece the other day. I'm going to, there's a canvas here, can you see it? Boop. I like using black canvases. That's just kind of the space that I'm in right now, these kind of high contrast pieces emerging off of black backgrounds. I'm going to start a new piece today. I'll do a little bit of time lapse of my process as I start on a new piece today. And it is a rainy morning. Just dropped the kids off on a bus stop. Got the little dog sitting with me. Off I go. So here I am switching out a canvas. I just finished a painting. I'm going to put a fresh canvas onto my easel to begin a new painting. This easel grips with 4 little screws on the edges. It just barely pops into the edge of the canvas to hold it on there, so it doesn't damage the canvas, but it lets me paint all the way to the edges rather than the lip of the easel kind of covering and keeping me from getting all the way to the edge. The amount of hardware that you have to use as a painter is kind of alarming. Here I am starting the new piece. This is inspired by the gargoyles and social isolation theme that I'm working on. And I'll usually kind of sketch out in a singular color first and then start blocking in highlights and lowlights. And when I get to a point where I feel like I've gotten the majority of the high, low, and midtones blocked in, I usually stop and let all of that dry before coming back in and starting to add some finer details. So that's about as far as I got on this piece today.